EA just released information about the next update to Madden 26 that drops tomorrow, where they talk about major gameplay changes, especially to a lot of different defenses, as well as making improvements to every single mode in the game, from franchise mode to superstar mode to ultimate team. So if you want to see a more in-depth breakdown of all the changes coming to Madden 26, stick around after the intro. If you guys are looking for fast, cheap, reliable MUT coins, check out my coin sponsors at MMOXP.com and use discount code MONEYSHOT for 6% off your order. Link in the description below. The champ is here! Welcome back, Money Team. This is Madden Money Shot. Sniffing out the Madden cheese as always. In today's video, I'm going to go over all the changes that are coming to Madden 26 in less than 24 hours. But before I do, as always, if you guys want to see more videos like this, please make sure to be a subscriber, hit the like button, let me know in the comment section. Other than that, it's going to get right into the video. Now, the first thing that I want to read here is that they do kind of walk back this title update a little bit, as this is the first major title update that's most likely going to bring a roster update, as well as all the final rosters have already been completed across all 32 teams in the NFL, but they don't mention a roster update in the patch notes, so we're just gonna have to wait for tomorrow to find out. So they kind of talk it down just a little bit here, as they say that this initial update primary focuses on stability updates with various zone coverage improvements. Don't worry though, there's plenty more updates coming down the pipeline, which is something that we've come to expect from just about every single EA game that drops. But this also mentions a lot of stuff that they're going to be focusing on in future updates as well. But I'm going to start off with the gameplay changes, because there's a lot of them here. This is probably the beefiest portion of this. First thing they go over a lot is the defensive coverage changes that they're trying to address. Number one is cover 2 Tampa, which is cover 2 zone. It says now that the middle defender will do a better job of getting deeper and maintaining better leverage position against deep threats, especially versus 3x1 formations, which is something that I thought cover 2 already did pretty good, especially compared to previous seasons. I thought it was really difficult for the most part to get over the mid-read when it comes to cover 2s, which is something that made it pretty much unusable in years past. Well, I guess that they wanted to make it even better, but at the end of the day, when I read this, it makes me wonder how much this is just going to be lip service. I mean, I understand them saying that the defender is going to get deeper, but I already think that cover 2 has a pretty good mid-zone when it comes to that. So I don't know if we're going to see too much change when it comes to some of these things. You got to remember that when EA puts out updates, a lot of times it's just lip service if they really didn't do much. And this one in particular, like I said, it could just be a roster update with a lot of lip service around it, but we'll have to wait to see till the update drops to know for sure. But they also go over cover 2 hard flats. It says address an issue where hard flats where defenders were dropping too deep and too far inside before reacting to flat routes. It says defenders now drop more accurately with their zone responsibilities, improving coverage consistency in shallow flats, which is something that was an issue back when College Football 26 dropped. It was the exact same thing, where you could get underneath hard flats, even they just didn't really act the way the hard flats traditionally did. So it took them a month or so, but it looks like they're trying to improve that. That's something that I do believe, because I do think that they did fix that a little bit better in College Football 26. So I do believe that that actually will be an improvement. It also says match cover 3. It says logic improvements for defenders when reacting to slot receivers attempting to out leverage the defense on deep routes. This includes Buzz, Mabel, and Zone Blitz 3 play calls, which once again, this is an issue that they talked about, I think, in a previous update when it came to College Football 26, where basically you could just have like a post and a wheel underneath it, and a lot of times the wheel route would be gone for a one-play touchdown. It's something that's been in the game, especially in college football, since last year, so it sounds like that's really what they're trying to address. It also says that cover 6 and cover 4 palms fix an issue where outside quarter cornerbacks in cover 6 and cover 4 were oftentimes losing the press, giving up easy touchdowns. We adjusted the CB's alignment so they will no longer attempt to press the wide receiver. This is something that basically is the main difference between cover 4 quarters and cover 4 palms, aside from who they react to when it comes to like the third receiver. But ultimately, when it comes to palms pre-snap, you'll notice that the cornerback is down pressing on the one side, which also happens in a lot of cover 6s that are half cover 4 and half cover 2. So now that they basically made this adjustment, you won't have that issue. So basically, if you like to run cover 4 palms, which a lot of people run cover 4 quarters because of this, but if you like to run cover 4 palms in the past, you would get a press animation from one cornerback that would typically lose very easily, or just get beat from speed a lot of times, making it kind of hard to run this defense. Well, now it looks like they're probably going to back that cornerback off, just like cover 4 quarters, which I don't know how it'll change how the defenses react. We'll have to see tomorrow, but this is also going to make that defense a lot better to be used, because in my opinion, cover 4 palms is a much better defense aside from this issue than cover 4 quarters, even though they look the same. They're not the same. They don't react the same. It's easier to beat cover 4 cover 4 quarters when it comes to matching cover 4s compared to cover 4 palms, considering that one-play touchdowns are just a lot easier. Trust me, I know, I do this for a living. But after that, we have zone coverage defenders now drop back quicker when shading over the top, which is once again a legacy issue that has been in the game since college football has had the same thing, where if you play over the top in a regular defense, say you come out in a regular cover 3 match and you play over the top, which is wire triangle up on the right stick, the zone coverage defenders on the outside will drop much slower for whatever reason. So I don't know what this has really been, why this has been an issue in the game, but it's been the game since college football 26. These are, all these things really are just proof that these are basically the same game with a reskin of your favorite team, because all of this is really the same issues that were going on in college football 26 months ago. Now it also says fixed a post-play animation defect where a defender would do read steps when standing in place after the whistle. So I'm not really sure what that is. I know that there are times though where the linebackers just don't move. I'm guessing that's what they're talking about when it comes to read steps, as there are some slow reactions, so that might be part of the reason. Then it also says addressed a visual issue around the previous play graphic, obscuring the offensive play call formation, which has also been in the game for a while. I do think that that's something that they tried to address in a previous patch, maybe it just didn't take, but this is something that is kind of a problem because you can't really see what formation your opponent is in. You can kind of see that they're in 3 wide receivers or 2 tight ends, or you can kind of get a little bit of it, but you can't see the full thing, which would be really helpful if they're running the same formation over and over. It'll give you a better idea that, okay, they're coming out in that same offense they've been using the entire game. Now, this one here is pretty cool. It says we also added a completely customized playbook called Benkert's Dimes, which it says here that you can select in the Play Now menu, but it doesn't say if you can play with it online. It doesn't say if you can mess around with it in practice to try to lab it. So it's really, you know, they said stick around on X to learn more about what they're doing with this playbook, but at the moment, it makes it sound like you're only gonna be able to use it in Play Now. So that's definitely something cool for Kurt Benkert, though, is it's called Benkert's Dimes. I don't know if I said that yet, but that'll be a playbook that people will be able to mess with soon. Next up, we have presentation updates where they added 3 stadiums to Play Now franchise and Superstar, which is pretty much every game mode except for online head-to-head, because obviously you can't pick these teams. But the Olympia, I'm going to say all these names wrong, by the way, but it says the Olimpio Stadium in Brazil, Germany, the Santiago Bernabeu Stadium in Madrid, Spain, and then it says the Dublin Stadium in Ireland. It also says a fixed crash and stability issues, which we don't really know what those are. But next up, we have franchise updates, which there's quite a few. It says addressed our UI transitions surrounding the player card, reducing the transition time it takes to go into the player card. But it also says dev note, this current fix only addresses going into a player card, as our resolution for exiting out of the player card back to the franchise main menu will be in our next TU. I'm not really sure what TU means, but I'm guessing they mean their next update. So, you know, they're figuring out this out slowly. It's going to take several months to figure out how to get in and out of a player card. Now it says resolved an issue allowing commissioners to send multiple league invites simultaneously, addressed an issue that prevented edge rushers from adding pass rushing traits, which means that when they basically changed the depth charts that they forgot to transition that over. But it looks like they fixed that now. It says addressed an issue during the draft where the draft board was improperly transparent, showing through to the background. Now it says dev note here, there's some more things they're talking about for a future title update, where it says class import process incorrectly modifying player body types, specifically linemen. So I don't know if it's either making them really skinny or really fat, but that's something that they're working on for the next update. Also, players on IR unable to be peeled off the IR list. And last but not least, nose tackle archetypes displaying a different overall in the front end. Now, when it comes to Superstar mode, there's only a few here. They don't really put a lot of time into Superstar mode because it's not one of the lesser played modes. I know, me personally, I don't play it. But it says that they decreased the fumble rate chance in snow games, as well as fixed an issue where players would play in the wrong position. Now, it also says fixed an issue where players' knees would be invisible during the NFL Combine. I have no idea why that would be happening. And then it also says several stability fixes. Now, the game mode that gets the most love and the most attention usually is Ultimate Team, as they have a lot of changes here, and quite a few of them I've dealt with personally. So it says player friend will now respect each individual user passing settings. I'm not really sure what that is, but they've been talking about how they're trying to fix a glitch in player friend, going back to the last update video that I put out. So this is probably it, although I thought that it had something to do with the ladder competition. I'm not really sure what that really means here, but it says next up, remedied an issue where opening a fantasy pack after a head-to-head game called visual artifacts during the pack opening. And it also says fix an issue when reward images fail to appear on some screens. So I've had that issue more than anything, where you open up the reward after a game and it doesn't show up to the point, and a lot of times it's almost like your screen freezes to the point where it's like you don't even know if you got the reward, which can be a little kind of stressful because EA does have issues with that. Then it also says fixed multiple occasions where players were navigated to the wrong menu. It says fixed a text issue where rank down appeared instead of rank up. Out of all these, the biggest one that I had where it says it fixed occasions occasional crash when returning to lobbies, which is something where it happened a lot, where you'd have to reset the game a lot of times. But it sounds like they're fixing that as well. And then it also says items displayed during presentation did not always match their actual rarity, which they fixed as well. Now there are some audio fixes as well. It says fix an issue where commentary referred to a few rookies by the incorrect last name, and that's pretty much it. But it's a pretty lengthy update, as I typically try to keep these videos short, and this one here is going over 10 minutes right now. So I'm going to end the video there, but let me know in the comment section what you guys think about the updates, what they need to fix in the future. And other than that, thanks for watching, man. Much it out. Need more help or just want to show your support? Then head over to my Patreon and join my team, where you can get exclusive content like ebooks and bonus plays, as well as early access to my vids and more. Link in the description below.